So today's topic is talking about top of funnel terms. A lot of the time we're like, we need to focus on cold traffic in terms of Google because we need to split out brand. We don't want to bid on brand because the campaigns start focusing on brand and they don't convert as well for cold terms, right? So the conversation becomes, how do we convert on cold terms, and how do we stay on, well, it's not stay on those cold terms, how do we keep new customers on those cold terms, and do we want to keep new customers on those cold terms, and if we have return customers on those cold terms, why do we have them, and is it a good thing? Does that make sense? Probably just interfere whenever you feel necessary.
I
So
have a
let's
question.
go ahead, Garima.
Before we move forward, can you differentiate cold terms and warm terms? Like, could you elaborate that?
Let's talk about mostly because I have a skincare client, so we're gonna go on that's the example I'm gonna use, and a supplement client. Those are the examples I'm gonna use. So let's talk about skincare. The cold term would be purely like vitamin C serum, right? Because there's no brand, so it's just purely a serum, right? Or retinol serum, all that random stuff that people search for on the, or like best face wash, something like that, right? Those are cold terms that I'm talking about. And now the question becomes, when we're talking about cold terms, and I'm going to start sharing in a second here. And I need whoever's going to post this to blur everything. This screen. Cold campaign where we've removed brand completely, and it's the same setup I always preach: split out, get rid of brand, and let it run and leave it alone. Now I'll emphasize this and start with saying that I launched this campaign on, when was it, July 18th, and I've made no changes to this campaign. Well, if you look at the changes, it's just like the build out of the campaign essentially. July 14th, 18th was when it's launched. Those are the changes here, and then 19th is the only change I made, and the change I made was not even that. Hold on. There was a budget change that I made. That was realistically the only change I made. 18th was launched, 19th, and the budget increase was on the 31st. Does it? Because the client wanted to scale, right? Other than that, this campaign hasn't been touched. And as you can all see, I don't know if it does. Okay, perfect. As we all see, conversions are on the rise. Good things to see, right? Nothing, I haven't touched this campaign, it's just running. And we always run these campaigns on low TROAS goals here. This, for this client, we've just set it to 50% as our target. And the reason we do that is so there's enough space for Google to learn and not restrict itself. If it gets too high, if we set our TROAS too high, it restricts itself. We end up with a finite audience, and the campaign eventually starts to die. In a situation like with the low TROAS, you might have a 1 bad week, 2 bad week, but it'll recover, and you'll end up just getting way more conversions. Trust the process, guys. Just go for it. Anyways, what we're talking about is cold terms. Now, when we talk about people searching for products and brand terms, what's one of the biggest assumptions you can make about a brand term? One is that people already know of the brand because of the vast amount of marketing done on Facebook, Instagram, whatever, right? And they're coming back via Google searching for the brand to convert, right? Technically, those are new customers, but some majority of the time they're not Google effort customers. Like, I didn't put in the work for it, I just took credit for it, right? Because it's a branded conversion, right? But then there's situations like you have where you can just, people search for random cold terms and convert for us, right? That's kind of what we have going on here, right? So when we look at this makeup brand that's been, I don't know, it's been running for a month now, actually. It's been launched, it's spending $4,000 a day to start. And when we look at what converted for us in terms of terminology, best foundation for makeup, I don't even know how to pronounce this word, clean makeup brands, face oil, best lipstick, vitamin C serum, best foundation skincare benefits, like, it doesn't get any colder than this in terms of someone that does not know of your brand. Does everybody agree with that? Yes, no, head nods.
Yes.
Yeah,
Yes.
Colby, you're gonna break your head like that. Don't head nod that hard. But yeah, so it doesn't get any colder than that. So is it a fair assumption to make that almost everyone that's converted here is gonna be a new customer that just found our brand, clicked our ad, and bought from us?
Yes.
Yes.
I can see a
Anybody?
trend. I can see a trend there.
That it's mostly, well, it's almost all new customers, right?
Well, yeah, but if you look at all those search terms, probably 3/4 of those search term has the word best in it.
Glenn, that's not the point we're trying to make here yet.
Oh, no, I was just saying I can see a trend.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Transactional keywords.
Transaction keywords. Yep. But can we assume that, let's just say that on a perfect world, all these are new customers, right?
Well,
Yes.
yeah, exactly. If they didn't know you exist, why would they search for best? They're looking for the best. If they knew of you already, they wouldn't type in best, would they?
Yeah. So now let's look at some basic Northbeam numbers, and all we're gonna really focus on is first time and return customers, right? So last 28 days, we're gonna look at here whenever Northbeam decides to load. I feel like I should have loaded this up first. Everyone can just awkwardly stare at my screen in the meantime. Okay. Oh, we got something. Oh, it's not moving. It's frozen. Come on. Oh, there we go. Transaction. Okay, so now let's look at Google Ads, right? And whenever it pops up, okay, what do you see here in terms of transactions?
I went up for top of the funnel.
So there's 356 first-time transactions in top of funnel, and 45 or 42. Where did I even get 45 from? But 42 return transactions from the top of funnel campaign, right? But we just technically agreed that people searching for that product had no idea what our brand was, and they're just converting on these cold terms, right? Does everybody, right? So what's happening here? Thoughts, theories, besides Glenn and Colby? You guys aren't allowed to talk because you already know. Don't shake your head at me, Colby. No?
Maybe they are familiar with the brand already, but they were searching out.
Yeah, you're spot on. So let's say said customer, let's say I'm a customer, right? And I buy their vitamin C serum or contour stick, right? And then 30 days later, I come and I search for something like vitamin C serum, right? I've already bought from this brand, right? And now I see an ad that they also carry another product that I want to buy from someone or from somewhere, but I see that they've already bought from this brand. So is there a sense of familiarity here where you're more likely to buy from this brand? Yes?
Yes.
Right? So that's what's essentially happening here, right? So someone that came in through a brand term initially, some form of cold term initially, and came back and then started looking for other products they wanted to buy or needed, right? They searched a cold term again, right? And then they bought again, right? Does everybody follow that? So they basically bought a product that a brand they trusted or have already that they didn't know that brand had. So they bought a product that they didn't know the brand had, but they already have products for this brand. Everybody follow that?
Yes.
Yeah. Yes? Right? So now how does this play into is this good for us or is this bad for us? And I'll say that it depends. Okay, actually, I'll answer this question in my opinion after. So is this good for us or is this bad for us? Everybody can join in this now. Colby, Glenn. This becomes a discussion at this point.
Well, you gave it away. He says it depends.
Well, in what scenario does it depend? Like if I say this is good for us, and I'll give you this example of I don't know, we're talking skincare. Let's just continue skincare, right? We give continuous skincare. How is it good for us in the sense of skincare brands?
Maybe on the basis of CAC. CAC is to value. So how much we are spending on those already existing customers who don't know about the product which brand has, and they got through cold search terms. So maybe just because of CAC we can.
So the
CAC.
word, so you're right. But the word I wouldn't use would be CAC. CAC would just be acquiring a customer. These are already existing customers. The word I would probably use is LTV, right? So let's say you bought said product one, and this is skincare products. People are gonna rebuy, right? And the LTV for my first product is $100. Then all of a sudden you find out that there's another product you like using that you also buy, which is product 2, and the LTV for that product is $150. What did my customer LTV become? 250, from 100 to 250, correct? Right? So in a sense, it's not a bad thing for them to come in. Now, there's caveats to this as well, where it falls down to how often people return and buy from us, right? For products they didn't know exist, right? Over here, I think, boss, you did the math and you put in the chat that it was what you said, 10% is the overlap?
Yeah.
42, 10%? Okay, let's just go with 10%. So right now we're saying out of all our cold transactions, 10% of people, and this is a threshold that it will vary business to people, well, not business to people, business to business. 10% of the people that are converting on cold turns did not know that we had another set of products that they want, right? So in my opinion, 10% is a good value in the skincare, because usually people have like multiple skincare brands, routine, and products in their routine. So 10%, in my opinion, is a good number to have, where I wouldn't say it's a business fail point, but it could become a business fail point when we have a lot of return customers coming in to buy other products from cold traffic because they didn't know of the product. So how does that become a business fail point? Because the business didn't fail to educate their already existing customer base that we have other products. Whether it was through ads, whether it was through email.
Email.
Whatever it was, right? Some promotions or whatever, right? Like, did they retarget or something like that? So does everybody follow along with that?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah, because if that ratio starts getting worse, you know that your overall marketing and sales funnel, there's a kink there because users are not educated and they're continuing to try to repurchase.
Yeah.
So I think with e-commerce, like, people don't feel brand loyalty like they do with like a car or something. You buy something, you might not even remember buying it. So of course, email and everything's important, but like Usama's saying, like, keep an eye on that ratio. Because if you don't keep getting new customers, that's when things will start to fizzle out.
This is starting off and they want to scale pretty aggressively. So the very first thing, I'm going to make the assumption that 95% of their data is wrong, or I'm not going to judge it off the old account performance. I'm going to judge it based off what I have from the day forward. So in a situation like that, the very first